Welcome back, everybody, to Coin Poker's Cash Game World Championship in partnership with Poker Strategy. I'm your host, JuanRoman, and we're back with some action, some evening action now. The tables actually resumed. They were completely gone for a little bit. But we got some players here ready to battle it out, and we're joined by Mr. Coley. What's up?
What's up, dude?
All good, all good. What about you? How's your grind been? What is new in your life, Coley? Tell us everything.
What's new in my life? Well, the grind has been going very good. We are on a heater, and hopefully we can keep that going because I'm flying out of the country tomorrow to go play some poker, and hopefully I am. The snowstorm doesn't stop me, and yeah.
How long is your trip gonna be?
My trip is 10 days, 11 days, including travel. 11 days including travel, I think.
What about any tourism, any activities planned?
I think, for me, I'm just looking forward to, I'm going with some friends. So I'm looking forward to, a barbecue, watch some sports, maybe have, 1 or 2 beach days. And if we're really, really desperate and the games aren't good, maybe hit up a museum or something. But for the most part, my goal is to play 80 hours of poker while I'm there. So probably not going to get out a massive amount. Yeah.
And any stakes specifically? Or do you already know the ins and outs of all of this?
Well, there's going to be a public 5, 10, 25 running, and then there may be some private affairs, TBD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you kept up with the leaderboards?
No, I haven't. Who's in the lead?
We got a new leader. TaxHere.
Asian Fleshy.
No, TaxHere.
Oh, TaxHere. Okay. And that's shit. Who's that again?
Kevin Paquet.
Yeah, Paquet. Yeah, he's a machine, man.
David,
he's
second place. Yeah. Yes, actually a lot of green here in the top ranks. A lot of these guys been upswinging. Prodigy! Look at this. He was down, and now he's somewhere up there. That's pretty sick.
So his EV is 40K and he's 173?
No. The EV is on the left. EV is 73, but he's 140K.
Okay. What's the 39 then? Because it says 40 and then 39.
Where? This?
Well, it says 40 on the right, and then on the left it says 73, and then above that it says 39.
This is yesterday. So yesterday he went up 4 binds in 1.8K hands.
Okay.
The smaller numbers is what happened yesterday.
God, they're playing so big, eh? It's just oh yeah, he's up a lot. It's no, he's up 7 binds.
Yeah.
So funny.
You think he's quite sick for sure.
Yeah.
And let's look at the bottom. Rigged, unfortunately, is still struggling, although he's apparently running good enough that he's not losing that much. I don't know if you would see it that way, but
is your mama's hot still playing? Your mom? Where's your mom?
Here.
No. Rig deck's there, but your mom is hot.
Yeah, no. It's because there is a delay. I'm looking at your mommy's hot now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 2.5K hands.
So he got back in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Almost won a bind yesterday. 331 hands. Not a big volume at all.
You know what's cool is Sherry Sweet was in the mid stakes championships, right?
Yeah, but I think he was already playing a bit higher, 1K, maybe 2K.
Yeah, I know, but there's a pretty big jump between 1K, 2K, and this.
Yeah.
I mean, this is if you're shot taking 10K, this is not where you go.
Yeah. I mean, so maybe. No rake.
I remember having a bit of imposter syndrome playing with Sherry Sweet, and now I feel a lot better about it. You seemed very sharp.
Yeah, no, he's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's try and catch some fun hands to have a look at, perhaps. I see full table running, and only 2 of them are which are showing on this. Oh, actually, wait, there's a third one. I think more tables are starting right now, actually. Interestingly, so I'll set up 4 more so we can catch everything.
Cool.
Davy also, although he's sat out at one of the tables. And yeah, I think I'm gonna start going live earlier from tomorrow, probably.
We missed a cool hand. I think it was JM Big Joe versus Dunkaroo. It looked like a really simple, boring hand, but it was just like looked like single raise pot, bet flop, check check turn, and then river. I think it was Dunkaroo's led for 1/8 pot with ace high. Ace high no kicker.
Left or right?
Left table, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, it was the left, but I don't know if it was. Maybe you had a different table open.
Yeah, I don't think I moved it. How many hands ago?
Ooh, I'm gonna guess 15 hands ago.
Shit, you
Yeah,
waited
ace
until
four
now.
off.
Sheesh.
Well, you were asking me about stuff, and it was
Yeah.
just a single raise pot, and
Okay, I'll find it. All good.
it was a tiny pot, but I just thought it was really interesting to lead for 1/8 pot with ace four off high. Just, I guess it was a value bet.
Okay, trying to find it.
Or diamonds. Ace of clubs, I think.
So you stay at you do an Airbnb or?
Yep, we're doing B&B.
Okay.
Dude, the hotel was crazy expensive.
Yeah. Probably if you want to stay at the main place, but yeah, you could get something nearby. Also.
Yeah, something nearby is like less than 10% of the price for a comparable. Like, yeah.
Okay, I found the hands.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it's an open from Gary on the button, Dunker who's defends the big blinds, and we were just little bit over 100 big blinds deep. Queen 6-3 rainbow. Small continue and a call. 5 of hearts on the turn. It checks around, and then 10 of spades on the river. It's almost ace. It's like a ninth. And the 3, it's so funny. You have to be good like so little of the time. At least it's a pair too. Like imagine if you would have called with like...
Oh, Juan, if you fold a pair here, you are overfolding to the moon. This is Jack 3 is the nuts here. But I just don't understand the bet really. I like it feels as if Dunkaroo has pretty reasonably strong range after floating the flop and getting the 5 turn 10 river. Like not strong like nutted, but I just don't quite understand this bet. Like it seems like the hand you're targeting is the hand that you have, or maybe you're targeting king high, but you beat king high. So I can't tell if it's a value bet or a bluff, to be honest with you. A merge of some kind. It's weird.
You know, sometimes in my games, people do this min bet thing, and it feels like they're hoping you're gonna like play too fast and misclick and stuff. So it could be that. Like he's hoping maybe Gary like would see a bet and be like, "Oh, I'm folding to any bet here," and then just fold.
I guess, but he's not folding a pair, right?
Yeah.
So
it's happened to me,
like,
man.
the only hand that this guy's not folding a pair to less than 1/8 pot. The only hand that you're getting to fold is like ace 8 or something. Like it's strange. It's a strange bet.
Yeah.
I think it's a value bet. It's a weird value bet.
King high calls somehow.
Yeah, some kind of
There's a
merge.
draw.
Some kind of weird merge. It's a weird hand.
Yeah, because if you have king high, surely against this, I mean, I'm guessing that probably you wouldn't bluff, but you'd maybe think about bluff catching, knowing you don't have to be good that often.
Yeah, although it's just tough to imagine what the bluff would be, like Jack 8 of spades or something, or yeah, something like that. Jack 7 spades.
7-8.
Yeah, 7-8, just the double backdoor. Yeah, because of course, if you have a lot of hands wrap around the 5, so interesting. I think the intuitive thing would be like, well, I need him to fold a lot more than ace high, so I'm gonna bet big. But yeah.
They're giving you some ideas for your games to try later.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't have this one. I usually just play quarter pot or
Collie bluff.
That's
50 times the
Collie
pot.
bluff, yeah. Yeah. 1/9 pot get called by king high, standard Collie bluff.
Did you already look up some food places where you're going? I always do that before I travel. I always look up like restaurants, whatever. Get hype about some food.
I should do that. The guy I'm traveling with is not a foodie,
Oh
so
man.
I might have to lead the charge on that one.
Yeah.
Drag him there. Yeah, he'll eat expensive sushi, and then other than that, just like Denny's.
Dennis, oh god, no, please.
I know.
Dude, Dennis quality has taken a dive. I used to think of this place like as being quite decent, but I feel like Dennis IHOP is like they're in the free fall, those places.
I didn't know that they used to be. I didn't know they had far to fall.
Yeah, not a fan anymore. I don't know why there's like so many fast foods actually in America I used to really like, and nowadays not so
Well,
much
did you
anymore.
just get exposed to too much of it? Like, I don't know when you started to eat American fast food. Was it in your 20s or?
Yeah, but like I feel like just like when I discover certain things, it's because like we don't have those like stuff like Buffalo Wild Wings. Like in France, we don't really have much chicken wings, you know. So when you first discover chicken wings, like you're like, holy moly, like, how did I not know about this before, you know? And then you think like Buffalo Wild Wings is the best place on earth. After a while,
you
like,
realize it's just salt and fat, and you're like, okay, I've had enough.
And also, like the quality is not that good, I do think, compared to many other places.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna eat a lot of like comp meals at the casino and maybe go out once or twice. I'd like to do again, like we're just not gonna be super touristy, but I'd like to do one or two fun things.
Well, you stay near the guitar thing.
Yeah.
What is it called? Hard Rock.
Seminole Hard Rock Casino Resort.
Okay, now I'm gonna look myself. Let's see what I can find.
Yeah, you gotta be my tour guide.
Wait, a room is 400 for a night?
At the hotel, when I looked at a room for two, it was over 1,000 a night, and I was
what?
like, okay, I'm not.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like I put in like 10 nights, and it was like 9,400 after tax, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah.
There's a place nearby called Mizraki's Pizza Kitchen. Is that the WSOP chef? What the hell? The grinder.
And we found a nice B&B too. It's literally like not
walking distance.
It's dangerous to watch grinding micros. Yes, walking distance, but we're still gonna drive because safety first.
Yeah. Well, you mean you rent a car or like you Uber?
Yeah, we're gonna rent a car.
It's pretty sick. This area has like so much water. Hey, be careful of the alligators, by the way.
Oh god. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about the
every body of water has an alligator in it in Florida. It's really crazy.
No gamble, no future.
Dude, don't walk by. I've read so many nightmare stories.
That's how I'll prove I'm sicker than all these high stakes.
I found a sick place. It's called Shook Healthy Cafe and Juice Bar. Maybe it's a bit
good.
Yeah, I'll send you a photo. It looks like it's a bit of a drive, maybe, but it looks oh my god! I shouldn't do this. I'm gonna make myself hungry. But yeah, I love getting hyped about food personally. Like anywhere I travel, I went to like Minneapolis a month ago before this, and then I had a list. I was only there 5 days, and I had a list of 30 restaurants and like a little bit of everything, like coffee shops, fast food.
That's awesome. Yeah, my I love food, but my girlfriend is like her doom scroll on the phone is all of the hyped food places for where she's going or where she is, and so she always knows like whatever is popping.
Yeah.
Which now I have to now you're my source now because I haven't planned anything.
Oh, I didn't know Sprouts is a real supermarket, by the way. Because I was watching this TV show called Pluribus. It's by the guy that made Breaking Bad. It's like a brand new show.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, and in it, like basically at some point she goes to a Sprouts supermarket. But I thought they made that up for the show. But no, it's a real thing. Sick.
I saw a pretty funny meme that was like if the character from Pluribus had been a man, and I've only seen the first episode, but the aliens are like, if there's anything we can do for you at all, just like let us know. And the guy is like Emma Watson, Emma Stone.
Have you watched the show or not?
Just the first episode. Yeah, I'm waiting for my.
I don't remember exactly what happens, but there is a character kind of like that, like the guy that speaks French in the show. You probably haven't seen that yet.
That is like selfish and like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
He's basically like
interesting. I think I
ordering them
remember.
around, and he has a bunch of ladies like showing up.
Oh shit. Does he? Is he? Is it an offensive portrayal of the French?
I don't know if he's precisely French, but yeah, he's a French speaker in it. I don't know. It's only so explicit, right? Because like she implies like what he's doing there, but then he he summons one of them and he's like, "Have I done anything inappropriate?" They're like, "No, no." Misha says, "Wait, driving is safer than walking? USA really is a third world country?" Oh my god.
I don't know, man. It's
I feel like, yeah,
businesses are.
everywhere I go, it gets recommended to me to be like somewhat careful. Like even like I went to Texas, and then I played in a little bit in Dallas. Then I was like, I was asking about the area. They were like, yeah, be careful. And then I went to Austin, and kind of the same. Actually, it was really creepy. Like when I stay in Austin, I was like a 15, 20 minutes walk from the lodge. And at night, the area I stayed in, for some reason, they had like some sort of, I don't know what to call it, like a data center, but all the lights were off around it. So I was literally like walking on the road with no lights. I was like, what the hell?
Sounds like it's from the movie Eddington.
Oh, I watched that recently.
Yeah, I like the ending, but yeah, it's just like you're just disproportionately likely to run into trouble if you are in any kind of cash business, including poker. So
Yeah. Never too safe for sure. Come to India, you'll need to be really careful. Yeah, I don't know.
that sounds like fun, but I'm not planning to do it.
Yeah.
It's far.
It's weird, like, because in some countries, like I'm a pretty tall guy, and like usually people I think wouldn't mess with me, but in some countries it's much more common to have weapons. So then suddenly, the confidence of somebody to attack me will be much higher.
Yeah.
But I live in Vienna. It's like really safe here.
Yeah. If a half dozen people knew that you were a foreigner carrying life-changing amounts of money, I think they might YOLO it.
Yeah. Hey, good to see Kevin get a good upswing. I actually did chat with him a little bit last night, and he mentioned he was willing to come on the stream at some point. So,
oh, that'd be so sick.
Yeah. What should I ask him?
Tell him that like I'm a kid from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and if he comes on now, then like he's like the Batman while I'm in the ward,
He'll cure your sickness of jamming 10 times spot on the river with a better hand as a bluff.
I don't know if he'll do that, man. I think he might be like, go forth and multiply, like. Yeah, I really admire Kevin because it seems like he has a very reliable way of winning. Like I don't know, he just seems like there's something about the way he plays. I think a lot of mid-stakes players could learn a lot from it. Whereas some of these guys, I don't know, just step one, have photographic memory. Step two, like not easy to do.
Yeah, there were a couple jabs taken by some players about the way some other players are playing, like boring GTO style at times, and then some other guys we've had on, Sakram Hierophant, he was saying like he really admires Deki, for example, who plays, who's known to play like very clean theory-wise. And he said like you never look at any of his hands and like, feel upset because everything makes sense. So there's kind of like both schools.
Yeah. It's not so much like about where you are on the spectrum in terms of how much of a limb you step out on necessarily, because some players are like quote unquote GTO, but at the same time, they are, for example, splitting sizes and splitting different sizes against different players. And they are, just making really specific adjustments that are really large and visible. I just feel like Pac is like, he's like just like a really tight, technical, clean boxer. Like he makes all the adjustments like around the margins. He does them really consistently, and he does them in a way that's hard to pick up on. I don't know. I mean, I'm not writing this guy's biography, but I just get the feeling he's that's his approach instead of like the call with 8 high stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently Jungleman played a little bit too. Finding his way to the leaderboards. Yeah, there is I thought it was more initially, but I think I miscalculated. But as of right now, I believe it's 80 unique players in the leaderboard, so far exceeding the 43 from last time. Not sure if anybody was removed from that one. I mean, obviously, some people only have like Weston, for example, only played 1 orbit, and he paid the blinds just to be in the leaderboard. And then he came on the stream yesterday, and he was like, "Oh, I'm ahead of Munez and Linus." He only lost 250.
Yeah, if you turn a profit in the first 10 hands, you have like a 500 big blind per 100 win rate, you know?
I think somebody has 7 hands, played only 1 orbit, and like, oh no, actually, no, I think he played more. But yeah, some guy played 1 orbit, and then he won a full stack from Prodigy, but then he didn't retire. He came back and tried it again, and got his money in way behind, then chopped, and then he still played more. And then I think he ended up down.
I was like kind of bored the other day, and Highmark was holding the lobby, and I was just for memes was like, "Hey, do you want to do a couple of flips?" And I was like, "Oh, he won't even remember who I am. It's gonna be awkward." And I didn't flip with him, but
Well, he would remember, I think.
Funny.
He watches the stream often as well, so he should know you. You're a regular here, Coley.
Regular here. Hopefully one day a regular in these games.
Who knows? Sometime soon.
2 years. 2 years.
What do you mean next year, man?
Okay, next year Florida goes shockingly well.
Wait, you just gonna play cash or also some MTTs?
Just cash. We're there because the tournament series is on, but
so you're just waiting for the guys to bust the tournament, be on tilt, and come sit.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just a lot of people in town.
Yeah. Bigfoot, I'm guessing you just tuned in because we were just talking about this. Last night, I talked to Kevin, and he seemed very willing to come on the stream at some points. He mentioned he's going to be playing a lot. So I was just thinking like, yeah, okay, he's playing 24/7. When do we get him on? So not sure exactly. Like for now, we haven't scheduled anything, but I think we'll try and make it happen pretty soon.
Back.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can finish your thought if you'd like.
Let me know which table and I'll put it up while I'm talking.
Table 2, Pack versus Llama, Pocket 3s versus King 8.
Yeah, so basically, even if he doesn't come on, like, necessarily this week, either next week or after the challenge finishes, I'm pretty sure we'll get to hear from him. So you guys, if you have suggestions and questions already, let me know. So it's a Llama open, under the gun, Kevin defense, big blind, king, queen, a small bet and a call. Do you ever have any raises here in the big blind? Because supposedly, like a lot of the kings is going to be the UTG player, right? Like all the nutted hands.
You should. I mean, button versus big blind. You can raise some trips. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't raise all of them. I think the ranges are so wide that the fact that you have nut disadvantage, you can't just never raise.
Yeah.
A king is a good enough hand to put in a stack, so there's no problem raising the flop. I still can't see the replay. So.
Oh, my God. That's how you know it's the third stream of the day. I was replaying through the hand. I'm like, he's not talking about it. Okay, so yeah, UTG versus big blinds, king, queen, small bet on the flop.
In this formation, I can see the argument for no raises in this formation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, so check call is fine.
And then turn check.
Yeah.
And river 3. Half pot size bet in position by Llama. And Kevin goes 2,600 almost.
Yeah. Okay, so in this formation, I guess I understand a little bit more. I guess at first I was just surprised not to see the jam. Um, I guess Pac is saying that he's just raising weaker King X or value, and he's not going to raise only boats, and so he needs to protect that range. But it's a little counterintuitive because Llama is mostly capped. You don't really expect him to jam over the top. And like if he does, are you folding threes? I mean, maybe, probably not. So I was just a little surprised not to see an all-you-can-eat bet on the river. Interesting though.
Is it that clear he wouldn't fold threes on the river? I guess the
No,
question
it's not.
becomes
I
like,
think the hand would be indifferent.
okay, does the question become, can my opponent jam with the bluff here? Like specifically if he has a king to try and represent a full house.
Right. I mean, first you would want to make absolutely sure that Llama wouldn't jam a hand like Ace King for value, which I don't think he would. And then after that, you would have to assess, whether he's over bluffing or not, because your hand has no real removal except for to nothing. There's no King 3 suited in range. So, but I mean, I've tended to notice a pattern at these stakes that like, you just don't fold a full house, even if your full house is indifferent. These guys are really going after it. I don't really expect to see a lot of players fold pocket threes here. But yeah, like it just was a little strange to me that Pac didn't just send it.
Yeah, those spots are tricky for sure. I find for both parts, like even kings is like, it kind of feels like you're not really loving life, but you can't fold at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, Llama, practically speaking, is going to be very close to top of range here. You see how his hand like makes a very natural check back, right? He's like, well, I have to check back some strong hands. This is like the worst king I could have almost. King seven's a boat. And so I'll just check back this one to bet river or bluff catch river. He's gonna have a lot of like aces, jacks, queen X. Like it's pretty impossible to fold this hand to a not all in sizing.
Do you think that's where in live you can gain an edge by talking a little bit, trying to get like a live tell? I mean, obviously, maybe not against this player specifically, but like let's say some weaker players or some live players.
I mean, I think that people, because it's kind of sexy to do that sort of thing, reach for that a little too early in their development, when in fact they should just spend their energy on playing good poker. Um, yeah, I think live reads are overall a bit overrated. But sure, I mean, especially if someone's like a complete whale, like you can get a feel for these things. I'm also saying this as someone who I actually believe I've got a bit of a knack for that stuff, and I still don't think it's very important.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice hands.
Yeah. I wonder if Pac is kicking himself for not jamming.
Well, I mean, would Llama even call a jam, right? Because it changes, obviously.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to call very often for the bet to still be higher EV. Like I
Yeah.
think if Pac could see the hand that Llama had, he would have jammed for sure.
Really? You think King 8 is going to be one that he calls against a jam? Because you said he's like, he doesn't have... you said like he's pretty high up in his range, yeah, but I thought you meant against that specific bet, which isn't a jam, because obviously you need to maybe go up
it doesn't
higher in the
matter
range.
it doesn't matter what the action is he's facing, right? He's still very high up in his range regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't really suspect, if I had to make a bet, Llama is never checking back the turn with pocket sevens, pocket queens. He maybe checks back the turn a little bit with something like king queen. So yeah, it's just like, what size did Llama bet on the flop? Was it a quarter pot?
Walter, yeah.
So maybe he has all king queen on the flop and then checks back a lot of it on the turn. But yeah, I mean, like you can't
that's
just
one
call
hand,
the
right?
king queen to jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also, is there, not only do you not have very much king jack king 10 most likely, but like is there really a massive difference between calling this and calling King Jack, King 10. No. So I think the only reason Llama would fold here is if he just really believes Kevin more so than strategically this hand being like a auto fold or anything like that.
Yeah. What do you think of the photo I sent you of that place, by the way?
Looks good.
It looks unreal,
Looks
man.
reliable.
Yeah, if you go there, you send me a photo. They have like all the
Okay, I
stuff I
will.
love, dude.
I'm gonna need stuff like this because I'm gonna be eating a bunch of like chicken wraps at the casino. You know,
Overpriced chicken wraps,
and
please.
shitty coffee. Yeah,
Starbucks.
yeah.
You looked into the rake, by the way, in those games?
I didn't look into it. No, I'm sure it's pretty run of the mill. I have some people there ahead of time. They haven't told me that anything is shocking.
Really? I expect it to be egregious, but we'll see.
Well, it's all relative, isn't it? I mean, like, you know, I don't know why do you think the rake in Florida in particular would be egregious?
I think because if it was good, I would have heard about it. I feel like all those places, yeah.
I don't know. The rake in Ontario is not great either. So whatever, we'll find out.
Yeah, most places that are in Vegas just have terrible rake, I think, in general.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh, outside of Vegas, yeah.
Like in here, it's like it's capped at €25 for 2-5. Like that's insane. In Vegas, it's $6.
Yeah. Well, a lot of places do this weird thing where they have like a non-linear relationship between rake and stakes. I mean, that's always true that there's a non-linear relationship, but they take it to the extreme. Like, for example, in Ontario, there's the same rake for the biggest game that runs at the casino as for the lowest. The cap is identical.
Okay.
So the cap is, I don't know, $30 or something. But you're playing that whether you're playing 20-40 or you're playing 1-3. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So the 1-3 game's like unbeatable.
Wait, so what stakes are you going to play?
Well, there's going to be a 10-25 running every day, and then we'll see about some other private stuff that may.
Oh yeah, it's decent. It's $10 every half hour. I'm looking on Poker Atlas.
Yeah.
On Poker Atlas,
and
it's eight-handed as well. That's better than nine-handed for sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Straddle, Mississippi straddle any position, and Mississippi straddle button priority. Okay, it's going to be a shit show.
I'm going to act out of turn a half dozen times. That's the thing that always gets me nervous is I've played like 100 hours of live in my life and fucking have to remember the size of the pot and then count out the chips and why can't I just click the button in my underwear, you know? Shit's hard.
Do they have? I wonder if they have like bonuses for jackpots or whatever, because there is no mention of this, so I assume not. It's kind of weird, by the way. For like 5-10, it says $10 every half hour, so same thing, but it says no flop rake, no flop, no drop, but it's time rake anyway. So like there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't change it like after they changed some rules.
It's like when you say no trans fats in your potato chips or something. It's like it's technically true, you know.
Yeah.
Not that any of them have trans fats, but
10-25 is pretty big.
Yeah. I think it's 5-10 with auto straddle is the game that's running every day.
What a guy! Minimum buy-in 2.5K. It doesn't say. Oh, no max. Woo-hoo!
No max? Oh my god!
That's what it says on the.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody's gonna sit with a milli at the table.
I just know I'm gonna get it in for 900 big blinds with aces against king 8 off and lose, bro.
Interesting. The 5-10 is actually 500 minimum and 2.5K max. I think it might be the same as in Vegas. I think Vegas also like 2.5K. Like for example, Bellagio is how it is.
And I think we're done hating on Florida. I think we've decided this is pretty reasonable.
So far, wait until you get there. And you get comps $2 an hour like in Vegas for food, I believe.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, I thought it was 1 for some reason when I quickly Googled yesterday, which just sucks. 2 is a lot better.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm a sucker for free shit. Like,
if you want healthy food, you can also Uber Eats, by the way. Like, there's always a ton of stuff. It's totally worth. Like when I'm in America, I feel like it's so hard to eat well, but then the only one way to find balance is to be like, all right, at bare minimum, one of my 2 meals in the day is going to be something like decently healthy, you know?
You'll probably appreciate this, that I'm bringing my AeroPress and good coffee beans that have been ground up yesterday, and I'm gonna make sure I get a good coffee in every day.
You just pack that in your suitcase, like casually?
Yeah, cute little espresso maker thingy, and
yeah. I just bought a coffee machine. Actually, I just picked it up today. I haven't installed it yet, but
nice.
How do you drink coffee? You just do like black coffee or espresso?
I like really strong coffee. I don't have an espresso machine, but I use like a mocha pot a lot, and an AeroPress and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the Mechanics of Poker podcast, where they had the mid-stakes guys on, someone kept talking about coffee. I'm pretty sure, like in a kind of like negative way. I'm not sure who it is. I think it might have been PTSD. So I really want to ask him about it. Like, what's the issue with coffee?
Yeah, poker players are weird, man.
Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own thing. I feel like Ben CB also was talking about this for a while. Like talking about all those things he thought like you should do and shouldn't do and stuff.
Yeah. High hanging fruit, bro.
All right, let's try and spot some hands. How long is the trip, by the way, for you?
It's like 11 days with travel.
No, but I mean like the actual travel.
Oh, like an hour and 45 minutes or something.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Oh no, it's longer than that. It's 3 hours.
Okay.
3 hours. Yeah.
And like, did you plan stuff like jet skiing or whatever?
No, man.
Why?
It's a work trip, bro.
Bro, take an afternoon off, and like, especially if you do 11 days. Like midway through it, you do like 5 days of grind, and then one day you take the afternoon and you go do a jet ski tour. Trust me, like I did that for that one. It was amazing.
Okay, all right, I'll look into it. I probably would enjoy that.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm like, we're just gonna watch Merab beat somebody up in the UFC at a pub, and that's like the kind of shit that weirdly I get excited for. I'm just lazy with my downtime, you know.
Wait, which UFC is it?
It's Merab versus some poor schmuck. I don't know.
323. Oh, Piotr Jan. I didn't know this guy is good, but Merab should be favored.
Yeah.
Oh, Henry Cejudo. Sick.
Kevin Pack plays like Piotr Jan fights, and I mean that as a compliment. It's fucking clean, no fat.
Okay, who's Merab then? Davey?
Merab is no. Merab is Linus. Just everyone knows what he's gonna do to you, and nobody can stop it. Relentless pressure.
He's a cardio machine, though, so he's more like Kevin in that way.
That's true.
I don't think I have any photos from my Miami trip, but I did like the sickest jet ski tour, where like you start by, I don't remember exactly how it's called, but like by some port, and you basically go around like a little bit everywhere. So there is like this Star Island thing. It feels like you're in GTA when you do this. And then you stop by all those like super fancy houses, which like a lot of them are like very famous. Like one of them is like the house where Scarface was filmed. There is David Beckham's house. Nice. And it's like, it's so beautiful, really. Like I was shocked. And like we even saw like some dolphins who are coming by and like doing the thing with their fin, you know, where they go a little bit above water. It was really cool.
Nice. Okay. All right. I bet the person I'm traveling with would be really into that. So I'll see what he says.
It's not cheap though. Obviously, all activities like this, like you're looking at a couple $100, but in my opinion, very worth it. Like one of the
a couple $100 is fine. I thought you were gonna say a lot more.
Well, that was in 2014. So who knows? They might charge 1K now.
We're gonna see 2.5x from Luca Brate here.
The special.
Or we're gonna see quarter pot.
You don't like. You don't necessarily like basketball. I mean, it's starting to be too much activity.
What did I say, bro? 2.5x.
Oh, the edits.
Oh shit, I'm behind, bro. Spoilers. What does he have? Like 4 or 5 of hearts?
Close.
5 deuce. Oh man, I'm on a tear.
Yeah. Get in there.
Yeah. Sorry, basketball. Yeah, I don't follow basketball, but I like it as a sport.
Yeah.
Like if someone gave me basketball tickets, I'd be stoked. I think the Leafs are playing while I'm in Florida, and my friend got some tickets, but I mean, whatever.
Well, it's the Heat, right? The team of Miami is Heat.
Right, yeah. They're just born to lose, bro. The Leafs are just cooked.
Oh, wait, what? Who are the Leafs?
The Toronto Maple Leafs? Or the Toronto...
oh, that's hockey, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but like the hockey team in Florida is like the best. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense, by the way. They have zero snow.
It's just money. It's all just money. It's a bit depressing. You know, there should be some kind of like cultural overlap between, you know, it should feel like your players are from the city a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if they live there for a long time, they're like, you know, integrated. It's like I don't mind as much. Like in video games, we had an issue like this where like for a while they try to like region lock tournaments, but then the players could live anywhere in the world. So then a lot of the best players, they're like from South Korea. So then they would play in the American region because it was the easiest. And they would just kind of wreck everyone. So then they were thinking about doing rules about like making sure they have to live in America, basically, if they were to happen. Because then they would have to practice on the US server with the American players. And then suddenly it benefits kind of like the ecosystem because you can get to at least practice against them and get better from that.
Mm-hmm.
So when do you go back home?
Like early December. Like some we've got a flight booked for like the 8th back home, and might delay it a couple days, but probably not. Probably just come back home and yeah, my friend is like, if the games are good, he just wants to delay indefinitely, but I've got a dog in a kennel and
yeah, not that easy.
Shit like that. So yeah.
Okay, so actually there is some sick NBA games. On November 29th, Detroit Pistons at Miami Heat, but to be honest, they're probably going to destroy the Heat. That's a sick game. And then Clippers, December 1st. And then December 6th, not as good, but Sacramento Kings in Miami as well.
Sorry, Clippers versus who?
December 1st is Clippers playing against Miami Heat. Okay. That's I looked at the home game, so in Miami. Yeah. And then December 6th is Sacramento Kings. Sacramento Kings are not as good, but the two other games are like, those teams are very good and hyped too.
Okay.
So if you, if there is no game running or something.
Yeah, we'll see if I've got some spending money. I feel like if I'm stuck infinite, I'll be like, I just want to stay home.
Yeah.
If I'm up, I'll go get a seat in the front row.
That's very expensive.
No, I'm just joking.
For that, you might need to cook because like it's like 10K.
But yeah, graph's been straight up, so hopefully we can keep the momentum going in Florida. I always get so nervous for live. I don't know why. Like it's weird. It's like there's sort of some weird overlap with public speaking or something, you know, like.
I think it's just like comfort zone thing, right? Because you don't play much live, you play at home, and it's like kind of like totally different.
Yeah, totally. But even so, it shouldn't really be a huge deal for me. But I just feel like I'm gonna be looked at. I'm gonna wear a paper bag over my face.
I think just do some mental preparation is like the key for this type of stuff. But yes,
I always meditate before I go and stuff like that.
yeah. One thing I found hard when I go from like online to live and vice versa is that like how different the game is in a way. It's kind of hard to be like, at least in my games, it's like really much like that. Like I play against a super tight pool online where you just, I mean, I guess online also, yeah, you do have to, they play tighter in general, like pre-flop. But post-flop, they will still show up with like some bluffs or like some hands that you need to call against quarter pot. Whereas like live, at least in the lowest stakes that I play, I do feel like some profiles are so extreme that even against quarter pot, you just need to fold everything basically. So if you're paying attention after a while, you kind of spot those guys that, they have like no 3-bet range. You see them flat ace king all the time. It does feel like you have to adapt way more. Whereas online, those are a bit more rare, I would say.
I mean, while that's true, what's funny enough is going into this, my plan is just to not level myself too much. Like, I think a lot of guys I've coached who play a little bit of live and a lot of online, they send me hand histories where it's just like they're doing something just so random, like they're cold calling queens versus 3-bet in the big blind or something, and they're like, "Oh, it's the guy is like older, so I think," and I'm like, "What? What are you? He's older? What?"
Well, I think there is merit to this. I make the same mistake then again. I had a hand like this in Texas last time. This guy that was opening, I don't remember exactly, but it was probably like, I want to say he was opening probably like 15x every hand. Suddenly he opened like bigger, 20 or 25x. And he was in early position, and I had queens, and I was quaking in my boots because we were playing deep too. So I was like, oh my God. So I just call, and then this guy overcalls on the button, and then he comes like a low board. And the guy checks, and I end up betting, and then the guy on the button calls, and then on the turn I check call, river I check call, and the guy on the button, he flatted threes multi-way, and he flop quads. So yeah.
So if you had cold 4-bet, you would have, or if you had just 3-bet.
If I just 3-bet, then I take it down 3. But then I guess like if he has aces or kings, also he's gonna jam, and then I can decide if he only has aces, kings, and then decide whether I fold or call. But
exactly,
I mean,
just, either.
You have to adapt so much. Like they're gonna push you out of your comfort zone if they play anything like this. That's the thing. It's gonna be so far away from what you play online.
Well, the toughest part is when they like rep nothing but air, but they can actually just have it because of how wide they are. That can be a bit annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
The board is like deuce, 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 and you have aces, and you're like, how does this guy have quads? But he just does.
My Goodwin says,
yeah, I think people need to do less, not more. Just play good poker is my opinion, my hot take.
Definitely a hot take. We'll see. We'll. I mean, I guess you come back after the challenge ends, but during the mid stakes, we'll catch up during the mid stakes. The next one, we'll hear about that Florida trade, how it went.
Yeah, when's the mid stakes again? It's gonna be March.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if Coin Poker even knows, to be honest, or if they are planning on precisely even necessarily doing one, or maybe like if they have, I'm not unaware of it.
Okay.
But hopefully there will be.
I guess they did away with the like last time they ran the high stakes championship, some of the guys were real named.
Yeah, but it was like they were told that they would be able to change their nickname again later. And then now we already kind of know like who everybody is in terms of regs. If somebody's not a reg, then obviously they don't have to disclose anything. But as far as regs go, they always have to disclose kind of like who they are. But yeah, this time it wasn't like last time with having real names, whatever.
Yeah. Do you have any picks to win the whole thing?
I mean, like, it's kind of like you look at a final table. It's like, who do you think's the favorite? Well, the guy that has the most chips, right? And right now, I do feel like Davy and Kevin are looking very good, personally.
Yeah.
I do hope Prodigy makes a run for it.
Me too.
Was struggling for a while.
He's very motivated, so.
And Llama as well.
It's cool to see him so motivated. Like a lot of guys, I think it says something about his character. Like a lot of guys would kind of phone it in. Like they would play the second one, but they'd be like, I already won it, so whatever.
Yeah.
And Prodigy's like, oh my god, now I have to win it again because I've already won it. I mean, how sick would that be? Gotta try even harder.
And what about Linus going down 17.5 binds in EV, being down even lower in actual result, like running bad and being like he took a few days break and then he came back strong and played a whole bunch again. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty. These swings are all within the realm of something these guys go through 2 or 3 times a year, I would say at minimum. So, 17 buy-in swing. So he's like, yeah, whatever.
Maybe Jungleman can make a run for it as well. Barely played so far.
He's like not opening the solver. He's just got his spreadsheets, his Equilab, punishing them with 2008 tech.
How's Munez doing? A lot of people mention Munez as one of the impressive players these days, and I do agree from the hands that I've seen. He's been quite on point. Was down initially, kind of rebuilt back up, and he's up 2.5 binds. Yesterday went from the reds to green. 700 hands he played, and won a little over 3 binds, almost 3.5.
Yeah, I mean he's been around for he's quite a while, right? I mean, he's solidified as one of the top X players, not going anywhere type of thing, right?
Yeah. Mike Goodwin says, bro called 4-betting queens versus all nits is a bad play. You can just fold pre versus some old nits, honestly.
That's true. So that's what I would say. If your hand is ahead, then you should raise, and if your hand is behind, then you should fold.
That's what's hard to determine. Actually, so yesterday I was talking with one of the players that he often watches the stream, and I've also studied with him before. He's a pretty good player, and I was talking about a hand that I had in Texas where I don't exactly remember the action, but I think it was like I 3-bets with kings, and we were pretty deep, and then some short stack called, and then this one guy who was a fish, he also he called, and he was like, I think something like an 8 high flop, and I think he was like check, and then I bet like not big or anything because it's multi-way, and then maybe the fish went all in. Sorry, the short stack, and then that guy who had called the initial raise, he jammed for like massive. And I was like, what the hell? So like this in my usual games is like a clear-cut fold, because people only do this. They never do this with worse. They only do this with a set. But so this guy, I told the hand to my friends, and they were immediately like, okay, in Texas you cannot fold this because people overplay their hand like massively and stuff. And it turns out the guy, I had kings. But like just the 100 big blinds, I would take it. But it's just like it was probably closer to 200, and it was just like such a massive overbet.
I know. I've made that kind of fold and been wrong many times.
Yeah.
I don't think you made a terrible play, to be honest with you. I mean, yes, like you kind of accidentally owned yourself, but you didn't have complete information on that player at the time, and
I don't know. I feel like I kind of knew already that he was a fish. I mean, in retrospect, it's always easy to say, right? Like just the way he dresses, the way he plays. Like I was paying a decent amount,
like 9s or something.
Yeah, 10s.
Yeah,
but it's such a gross overplay by him that I cannot make sense of it. And that's what I told my friend. I was like, how am I supposed to understand that this guy is doing this? And he's like, yeah, well, that's how people think. He has an overpair to the boards. He's afraid of seeing an overcard. He just check jams here, makes his life easy. And apparently, it makes me fold better. And so, like,
you could also make a lot of bad calls this way.
Yeah, exactly. And that's also happened in some other spots. So, what my friend was saying is that, like, he's like, oh, you shouldn't feel bad about that fold. Like, you made a fine fold. I'm like, he has 10s. This is a terrible fold. And like, obviously, you don't want to be too result oriented on one hand. But if he's jamming 10s, like he's jamming jacks, he's jamming queens, like he's just jamming all these hands.
How often is he flatting jacks and queens pre-flop?
No, but like here, I think he raised and then he called a 3-bet.
Oh, he called a 3-bet.
He called my 3-bet, and then the short stack also called.
Oh, so the SPR was like 2?
No, it was more. I don't remember exactly, like all the
I
numbers.
thought it was a single raise pot of like 11 big blinds, and he
No,
jammed
no,
for...
no, no, no. I think he raised like 3 bets, but then we were like so deep also, and then like short stack called, and it's like they both check, I bet, and then the short stack goes all in. I mean, the short stack had like really nothing, and then this guy just check jams with tens. It's like what? Like what is he doing? And then so I've had a similar spot one time where I was in Vegas at the win at 3-bet, and then some guy call, and then he ends up getting very aggro on like I think that's when I had aces. And he ends up getting a very aggro where like really not much is, getting there or whatever. And like also because he call, like just basically tell me he's a fish. And this guy turns out he called my 3-bet, which was huge by the way, with fives, and he flopped a set. So that time I called and I got cooked, and the time I was ahead I folded. It is brilliant poker over there. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I guess if it's a 3-bet pot, it might be a bit tougher to fold kings, but it depends a little bit on exactly how deep you were. I thought it was like a 9 big blind pot and you jammed for over 100 bigs.
No.
Like, yeah, just... I mean, like, as a rule of thumb, if you are always going to go bet yourself and like shove the river, no man has ever gone broke like calling off those hands.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If
but
your plan was to put all the money in and they do it for you, like, if you're not sure, just don't overthink it. Your hand wants all the money to go in. He did it for you. Okay, whatever. This is not your favorite way to get all the money in, but you want all the money to go in, so put the money in.
I do feel in some of those pools you cannot make that generalization sometimes.
No, it's not. It's not really a generalization. It's more like just like a way to have a solid foundation in terms of like what are theoretically sound calls versus sort of going out on a limb. Like you might just not know, like the way to think about exploits, right, is not to think just is this guy under bluffing or not, but also how much is the play you're considering avoiding worth in theory. So like if a call in theory is worth 54 big blinds, you have to be really fucking on point to do anything besides call, right?
Yeah.
So, and if a call is worth 1 big blind in theory, then you don't have to be very right to justify not calling. So that's kind of like that, if you're ever stuck, like, first you should just ask yourself, like, how right is it supposed to be to call here? And depending on how deep you were exactly, you might be in a situation where kings is just like, it's just the money can get in any way you want. It's just going in theory. But I don't really fault you for, you correctly identified he had no bluffs.
This hand is still haunting me. I still did well on my trip too, even despite this place. But yeah, so when what I was saying is like when I explained this hand to someone that plays like more online, he was like, "Oh, it's fine." Kind of like you were saying at first. Whereas like my live friends, they're adamant this is an awful fold with the kings.
I thought you said that the guy told you that he understood why you made the fold and stuff like that.
No, that's the online player. But my live pro friends who are very good at live and play a lot of live, they say that in Texas that's literally unfoldable.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll know for next time. I mean, if it's that crazy, then you'll get a spot like that again. Yeah, God, that's stressful to have to use that kind of like.
Okay, I was looking for the message because I messaged my friends that I asked about it, and so this guy, the fish guy, he opened. This is 1-2, by the way. He opens $25 low jack. Great start.
Yeah.
Just a 12.5 open, very casual in Texas. A 3-bet 105 in hijack with kings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and actually, so the other fish, he jams 94, so he has no post-flop option.
Yeah.
So he jams 94, and then low jack calls, and flop is 753. And I see bet I see bet 105, which is third. And then the guy, actually, it's not as deep. Yeah, he check jams 644.
Yeah, so that's what I meant where I said, like, is the SPR 2, right?
Yeah,
and the SPR is roughly 2.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't fold kings there because the money should just go in. Like I'm not surprised to see tens there. I thought you were describing a spot where the SPR was like 11.
Yeah, no.
In fact, his jam it's probably a little wide for the formation, but structurally you will see jams with weaker overpairs for the caller out of position. It's not actually ridiculous.
Yeah. Mike says they don't shove all in with sets, they make smaller raise. Actually, not necessarily. I've played a lot of live. And yeah, they fast play their sets quite a bit.
Yeah, you could see, like especially for like an 11x shove, you can see it being just a set somehow. Like even though it makes no sense, like at the same time, they're just only going to have the confidence to jam for 11x pot with the set. So, but no, with the SPR as it was, I think you made a bad fold. I am sorry, Juan.
I think against some regs that I know are like super tight and will only do this with the sets. Like there is some that I've played with so many hours that I can tell they just won't have bluffs.
Sure.
So maybe against those I could fold, especially the old guys.
You also have to keep in mind that like I actually don't think with SPR2 there that it's totally impossible that he has a bluff. Like 753, right? Like I could
it's about value cuts. I mean, I still kind of feel like his line is nonsensical, right? He should just, I don't know, a check call, or if he could check raise, but check jamming is just, in my opinion, so wild. That's what like really threw me off. But
I don't think it's that crazy. To be honest.
My friend was saying, there's a lot of value cuts here, and you literally can never fold.
Yeah. I'll show I'll.
So yeah, I only lost 200, but I would have been a pretty big favorite to win 750 if I called.
Yeah, I mean, let's put in, so SPR is 2 to the flop. Or SPR is 3 to the flop, so it's a bit like you're 75 deep. Right. Kind of. And we'll put in that board for the sake of the argument. 753. Don't really love your flop sizing either, but we won't worry about that.
You mean it's like I want to play like 2 streets and bet bigger?
I guess given the SPR is as it is, maybe it's fine. I would just go kind of like roughly even over each street, something like this. So I mean, like if I node lock jam here, yeah. So for example, like cutoff versus button, when the SPR is 3.8, it's still GTO to jam tens, cutoff versus button.
Yeah.
And given that you're playing in a game that's wide and splashy, like a lot of people are 3-betting, kind of like it's cutoff versus, it's just like a big splashy game. So his raise is not crazy. Like it's just like okay. It's just for a 1-2 crazy Texas game. It's not the most shocking thing I've ever seen. Yeah. I mean, you're really depressed if you see like King 3 offsuit or something and he just jammed a 3, right? But tens is fine. I mean, tens can get called by 8s or 9s or 6s that has a gutter, or flush draws, or ace-5. And then you deny a lot of equity from 2 random overcards, which is valuable. And then I'm sure it played into his decision too that he just wanted the hand to be over. But it's not like it's the craziest play. So yeah, so you can't fold kings there. Like in the spot that I've sort of run arbitrarily, the EV of a call with kings is 20 big blinds. And I just don't think you should make 20 big blind folds very often.
Well, thanks. I feel even worse now.
You should feel worse, yes. You can fold 8s, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if I'm folding
But,
kings,
like,
I'm folding everything.
you can fold ace king offsuit.
Yeah.
Those are the hands you should think about folding, not the 20 big blind, 100 big blind. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's a
Those Texas games, man. I'll be right back. 2 minutes.
All right, sorry. Walk it off. I haven't focused on the poker very much, guys. Sorry. Let me lock in here. So I take it rig deck has gone bet blind v blind. Quarter into half, looks like. Just tuning in now. Interesting river for him, rather. A lot of his bluffs improved. All of his value is worth very little. So not surprised to see a check. And now we're probably going to see some hero calls and then some jams, I would guess. Or one card flushes are a bit awkward to jam, but yeah, for this SPR, I'd probably just rip King of Spades and maybe even Queen of Spades. You could check raise to like 4,500 around the Queen of Spades and Jack of Spades, but feels gross. Yeah.
All right, back.
Yo.
Yeah, the thing about those live hands as well is like you can't really do a sim and like get answers just because like the guy is opening 12.5x. You know, it's like nonsensical from the start.
Well, no, you can, because if you assign him a range, then you just plug in the SPR post flop, right?
Well, so
You know,
what tool to use?
Well, you could use a traditional solver, or you could use the Wizard AI, or whatever you want. Just you have a feel for his range by looking at his frequency of RFI, right? So,
Yeah.
you know, if he's playing 10 hands an hour, you know that he has hands like ace 10 offsuit for that size, right? And then you can ballpark the frequency he calls a 3-bet. It's probably just kind of like a normal calling range versus a 3-bet. And you probably have it reinforced that his range is wide, given that this is sort of a standard RFI in the game, right? So yeah, you don't really need to. You would only need a really special sim if it was a GTO range opening 25x, but it's not.
Yeah. It's hard to have that
Just
info
like
from playing live, though. I would have had to play with him a much longer time to really like establish. I don't know that I'm able to tell after playing with somebody for an hour what exact frequency they open or like how many times they open.
I mean, if you just see them go 25 big blinds like more than once, then it's unlikely to be a custom size for Kings Plus, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a while back, so I don't really remember as much. But by now, I knew the guy was like, he was like one of those guys that's like, I think a fish, but a fish that comes there and plays pretty often. But obviously, he was pretty out of line, and he had gone on the heater for a while.
I mean, it's not a huge mistake to use massive RFIs if people will call out a position. So
Yeah. I remember the next day I was at that same room and I saw him sit at another table and I went to the floor and I was like, please transfer me.
he pulled a collie bluff. No, he didn't pull a collie bluff. But it's sort of in the neighborhood. He value bluffed. It's like an opposite of the collie bluff.
A goated move.
He wanted a call, he got a fold, but he got a fold from a better hand.
Oh yeah, man. They drive me crazy sometimes in the live. I think that's part of why like I also want to work harder and just get better to avoid like making, obviously it's poker, you're always going to make mistakes. You never come out of a session being like, oh, I played amazing, but I do think my level Although most of the time when I play the stakes that I play, I don't think there is too many people that were better than me. I always felt my level was like greatly lacking.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of it. I've made folds like that before, man. Like I had a hand at like 10-20 where I opened in really early position, so very tight range, obviously, and big blind defended, and the flop was like ace jack 3 2 spades or something. I bet, got called. Turn was like a spade, and I had queen 10 of spades, it's like a Broadway flush. I bet, and he calls, and the river was like a jack. Oh, so actually, the turn would have completed a straight as well, I guess. So it was like ace jack 10, and I bet with a second nut flush or something, and the river paired the board. It was like a jack or something. I just bet again, saying like no one is sick enough to bluff me here with, or like this player is not sick enough to bluff me here with like weak trips, or like some random top pair or something. Like he's just going to call with his straights and his trips and his weaker flushes, and I'll get value. So I bet with my flush, and he jammed, and I made like a really comfortable fold because the board paired. He has all of these boats, and no one's bluffing. And then he just turned over a straight, and he's like, "Oh, I wanted a call." Like, and I was like, "Oh, nice hand."
But did you
Yeah, the
fold
board
pretty
was like,
quickly, or like did you try and have a
yeah,
look?
yeah. No, I knew before I bet that I was gonna fold because the board
Yeah.
was like ace jack 3 10 10 or
Yeah.
something.
Do you think that maybe
Um,
sometimes like this is a bad habit from online? It's like you're already trying to decide what you're gonna do on every sizing. Whereas like live, you can maybe take your time a little bit more, really observe villain, maybe try to ask something if you're still kind of undecided to maybe lean
yeah,
one way or the other.
you should just always, I think, take your time in each spot so you can plan, decide what you're gonna do, and then double check that you're sure and all of these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
TaxHere's all in. There was that funny hand Barack versus Davy heads up where Davy called a 3-bet with kings instead of 4-bet. I saw on YouTube. It's like he was up 11 buy-ins or something. Just whatever. I'll just slow play kings heads up.
But Barack was deep as well.
They weren't even deep. They were like 100 effective. And
Okay.
Davy just called kings on the button heads up. It's so funny.
Mike Goodwin, if you can reason that your opponent has worse for value, you should very rarely fold. Yeah, the thing is, like, I came up in games where this line is only sets. Obviously, it's not the exact same hand because, it's different SPR. And obviously, like in my games, people wouldn't like check jam, but they would probably like check raise their sets and then jam turn. But yeah, in a way, it's different. Like, it's a pretty extreme, like, recreational profile, a big open raise pre. Yeah, maybe I would think that by now I would have enough experience to kind of know what was happening. But in that moment, I was just like, well, if he has anything else than a set, this is just a gross overplay. So fold seem right.
Yeah, I think the exploitative assessment of the spot was fine. You assessed that it's an underbluffed spot. However, your understanding of 3-bet pot out of position preflop caller, like strategic dynamics, is where the review would want to take place.
Yeah.
You will find as a trend in a lot of these spots that weaker overpair is just check raise, get it in. And I think if that had been kind of more obvious to you, then you would have been more optimistic about your hand.
Yeah.
Not to say that this guy is like playing GTO or anything, but nonetheless, I think you would have just thought you had a value beater if you were used to like check raise sending it with jacks yourself,
He asked me what I had after the hand too.
Oh God.
Do you know what I
I
said?
hope you told him ace queen.
Do you know what I answered?
What?
I didn't. I didn't answer. I was like,
Yeah.
I was steaming, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a good example of where theory is important too, right? Like theory and exploit kind of go together to understand what the limits are of what you should be should be doing and not doing. That's like a Stefan fold. We're trying to make Kevin Pack folds, you know, or around the margins, not.
People do the most random stuff. Like some people are trying to look at it from a theory standpoint. They're like, oh yeah, maybe theory will like check jams here. Like, do you think this guy knows that? You think the guy spent even 1 minute of his life looking at a pre-flop range?
No, but I think that look, like, okay, he's a guy who plays a bunch of poker. He's got some level of literacy in the game. It's a big, splashy game that plays a little bit lighter for value, and there's a lot of sick bluff catching and wide ranges and so on. And I think, just like if you ask me which of the two players had a better assessment of what their hand is supposed to be worth in that hand, I'd have to give it to the fish. Do you know what I mean? Like, his hand is almost worth that amount.
All right, have a good night, guys. Later.
It's not quite worth that amount. I'm not. Do you know what? I'm trying to say that because it might be helpful, right? Like, it's not so much about whether or not he knows, like, he's studied Sims. It's just like, if he's playing with common sense, he's like, okay, I have an overpair. It's not a lot of good turns. I could get called by worse.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I'm not folding.
And
right? Like, that's
PV in chat says
I don't.
Actually, wait, no, it was. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't have to be a whale whisperer to come up with that logic, right?
Yeah. But so Ramsey says, like Coley said, don't level yourself, just play good poker. But that's the thing. For me, that was playing good poker in that moment, folding. Like, what about the other hands in Vegas where I 3-bet with aces and some guy called with fives and flopped a set, and then this time I paid him off. It's like the hand is very similar in a way, right?
Sure, and you should go broke in both of them.
Okay. Okay, I can live with that.
We'll call it a wash. Actually, no, we can't call it a wash because you got stacked in the one.
Yeah, I got wrecked in both.
I was going to say you folded both. Yeah.
I got wrecked in both, man.
What do you do if you're unsure whether to play or study some spots? You should probably study some spots. Studying is an investment in your future, and playing is an investment in tomorrow.
Too wise.
I got a nice piece of advice from watching YouTube yesterday, which is, I guess it's kind of cliche, but it still was resonant for me, which is like, think about the poker player that you want to be. You're like, one day I want to be like this guy, and just start acting like them now.
Who said that?
That guy studies an hour a day. You should be studying an hour a day. Some Australian guy, seems like a new content creator. Seems like a good content creator.
I was worried you were gonna say like Andrew Tate or something.
No, he's like some poker guy.
Also, like Coley said, no one went broke by calling off hands that wanted to get the money in anyways. Yeah, I kind of my whole point there was that between online and live, there is like, sometimes it does feel like night and day. They just play so differently. They really push you out of your comfort zone. Like online, the biggest open I'll ever see is like a 3x. And then live, this guy's opening 12.5x. That's like his normal sizing, It's just a completely different game. It's wild.
You almost often just treat it like you're playing like 50 big blind poker or something.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times these larger RFIs are not stronger ranges. They're just similar to online ranges, but really big RFI.
Need more studying, need more improvements. Nothing else matters. I don't care about the results.
Well, whoever said that, then it sounds like you should study.
I said that. And talking about live poker makes me miss live. I should do like a weekend, go to a Bratislava or something and play some.
This is interesting to see the click from Beppe. I assume we have 3-bet pot, B50 flop, and then gets clicked by Beppe.
We're seeing more and more of those actually in those games.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to defend wide enough against click. I'm guessing you have to defend some hands here like ace jack of hearts and bollocks like that. King queen of diamonds and shenanigans. But it is always interesting to see a size like this because I would assume there's a very, very, very small yet obvious EV regret in picking that size, which indicates you're doing it because your opponent will misplay. There's an interesting thing that happens sometimes where, like, I don't know if you play any chess, Yuan, but like if your opponent's first move is like A4 or something, it's not that bad a move. Like if the player is good, like they're still gonna beat you, but it's clearly not the best, like not one of the top 5 best moves you can make. So it sort of says that they're like trolling or don't know what they're doing or whatever. And clicking the flop reminds me a little bit of that. Like it's not going to make a big difference in the grand scheme of things, but you're sort of like telegraphing that. I don't know if that makes sense.
I'm not sure I understand. I don't know chess, so I don't know what A, whatever. I mean, I know it's like the first box you'll...
Well, like, okay, so an analogous thing would be, like, there's probably something in Warcraft or StarCraft that's, like, kind of a meme, but it's close enough in being a viable strategy that if you're, like, that it won't make that much, like, the better player will, like, always win still, right?
Yeah.
Like some kind of tribe that's not quite as good or something like this. Does that hold more true?
Can you re-explain?
The problem is I don't know anything about Warcraft or StarCraft. There are tribes in StarCraft, right?
Yeah, it's they're called races. So it's
Races.
like orc, night elf, undead, human.
Okay. Oh, there's only a few. Okay, so they're probably reasonably well balanced then, right?
No.
Or is there ever one
It's imbalanced as hell.
really slightly worse?
It's completely unfair.
Wait, sorry, it's unfair? They're not balanced?
Yeah, they're not balanced.
Okay. So, but you would agree that one of the weaker races, the stronger player will still win with it, right?
No. I'm the strongest player, and I'm always losing because my race sucks. I'm kidding. No, I guess, like, yeah, in a way, probably.
Okay, so like clicking the flop, it feels a little bit like that. It's like, why would you do that? But also, it won't matter that much.
The main argument for clicking, isn't it equity denial, right?
Yes, but you probably would still want to go a bit larger. Like, usually the way to think about any sizing that you're value betting, whether it's a raise or a bet, is the smaller you go smaller to support thinner hands in your range. But check raising is structurally and intuitively a fairly polar endeavor. And it's not particularly clear what hand you're including in the range for value that is too weak to raise 2.6x, but benefits from raising 2x.
Yeah.
Right.
Do I follow Boudoir? So sorry, go ahead.
No, I think I'm spending a lot of time on something not terribly important, but
I think I'm too tired maybe to understand as well at this point. Ramsey said, you follow Broodwall, this ASL season was so good. No, I don't really. I just tune into Autosis here and there sometimes. Since he's one of my good friends. Other than that, not. And Mike said that he played a lot of live, also 2K hours. Show me your results, Mike. Let's see. What hourly are we talking about? What stakes do you play? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to defend my fold and say it's the right play. I'm always pretty open-minded. I just found it... I brought it up because you were talking... I was talking about live versus online, and also because from the crowd of my live pro friends and the people that I've talked to that play more online, I'm getting two completely different answers. So from one player to another, then it's kind of hard for me to figure.
What stakes were they playing, the online guys that told you it was a good fold?
From like 50 to 200s.
Yeah.
And also, like, nobody really said it's like the online guys, they said like, oh, it's a good fold, but like it's also like you could technically also like call in like some scenarios, whereas like the live players were pretty adamant you can only call here.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of pretty much idiot proofing your poker. Like, you don't need to make these crazy hero folds and hero calls to make a lot of money. Like, just don't fold kings in a 3-bet pot.
Yeah, I think it's maybe just unrealistic of me to think that I can fold when I'm beat and call when I'm ahead.
Exactly.
Because it's like just not feasible. Like I'm not a perfect live tail reader or whatever. And like there's probably no such thing.
I just think that like your thought process that your opponent was strong was good. Like, I'd give it a B+. I do think he has bluffs, but it's good. Yeah, it seems underbluffed. However, if it was just kind of seared into your brain how strong your hand is supposed to be, it would be very difficult for you to ever make a fold like that. Whereas, like, you can start thinking with eights and ace king and stuff like this.
Yeah. I mean, those hands I wouldn't mind folding, but kings, it already felt... I mean, I thought for a while too. But I just thought that in my experience, in the games that I usually play, you're just no good here too much of the time.
Like, what's funny too is...
In Vegas, it plays much tighter, even the fish.
Mm-hmm. You would think that it's the stronger players who make these crazy hero folds and stuff like that. But I actually often find that it's less experienced players who are willing to go this far out on a limb.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go too far out on a limb.
This guy's
interesting. Everyone's got an ace.
This guy's love tormenting me live, man. I've had a couple of really good reads though, a few times.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure there have been spots where, you have an overpair in a single raise pot and the straight completes and they check jam and you turbo fold to like a 3x pot jam and then you've made a great fold. So your thought process for like the feel of the spot is great.
I remember I had a hand in Vegas where like some guy raised in early position and at aces at 3-bet he called and it came king, king, queen, and it looked like the guy was gonna jump out of his chair. It was like a really weird thing. It looked so weird, like just the whole thing. So I was like, all right, well, I probably would see bet this small usually, but now I'm gonna check back. I check back and he snaps bomb turn. I fold and he shows me he has queens. He flopped the boat.
Nice.
Yeah. So occasionally, like you can get a read, but in that one, I really wasn't sure.
Yeah, and that would be a spot where structurally your hand is much closer to indifferent by the river because no one is betting worse for value, and you just have a hand that's really no different than, say, a queen. So it's much more reasonable a fold.
Yeah. Let's see if we can catch some hands.
Oh, Davy and TaxHere, play a little bit. Come on.
But they're down to heads up, or maybe the actions is slowing down. I see some of the table with some empty
play heads
seats.
up.
There is one more show table. I guess I'll move it here. Oh, you want to look at that heads up table? Because it doesn't count towards the challenge, right?
Whatever you want. I'm down, but I don't mind if you want to switch.
Yeah, let's see this hand, then I'll switch for the other full table. What do you do on the flights to, stay busy or whatever? You just sleep or you bring something?
Probably gonna work my thesis. Sigh. I've owed this thesis for grad school for over a year now.
What is it about?
About what I'm calling religious tensions in psychotherapy.
Okay.
So when you have clients who are inhibited by religion in some way, how you navigate it.
You didn't feel like writing about poker?
Kind of asked them if I could, and they were like, no.
We don't need some degen fanfic. It looks like the heads up table's breaking, by the way.
All right, let's switch it up. Tell us about the stats used, Collie. Honestly, I'm not really doing a thesis that way. I'm not running any studies or even necessarily referring to a lot of quantitative research. I'm just going to be more qualitative in nature. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I've barely spent any effort on it, but I've got some texts that I'm going to check out on religious trauma as a phenomenon, as a particular kind of PTSD, and I'm working on some case studies from actual clients.
How much do you use ChatGPT?
Dude, how much do I use ChatGPT? I mean, I'm never gonna use ChatGPT for that shit. I'm gonna die on a hill for that stuff.
How many people do you think use ChatGPT for 95% of their thesis?
Like at this point, it's grim, dude. It's like half.
Yeah.
But these people are cheating themselves. Like it does not produce strong writing, and if the person reading it can't tell the difference, then I guess it's a waste of everyone's time, and you might as well use it. But
well, I'm guessing you could probably copy paste the whole thing into ChatGPT and ask the ChatGPT write this, and it will give you a pretty conclusive answer, is my guess.
Potentially, I guess if you gave it the information. I mean, the fundamental problem is that it does not have original thought of its own, and the whole point of writing is to communicate original thought. So that's what tilts me about people thinking it's smart.
Maybe you should do a thesis about this.
Just
that would be crazy.
YouTube rant. Yeah. GPT is kind of like a useful like Wikipedia now. You just use it as a jumping off point.
I see it more as like a super Google personally. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I used it the other day. Like, hey, there was a movie about a failed marriage that was indie from like 2018, and GPT was like, "Oh, The Killing of Two Lovers," and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
You can solve hands in it, right?
Oh God. Okay, let's do that. Here's what I'm gonna do, Johan.
Should I input my king's hand?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh my God. Oh no.
1-2 live. Let's see how smart ChatGPT is.
You want the sizings? I had found
fish RFI.
Oh my God.
25 UTG.
If the computer says I'm dumb, I'm done.
In the hijack. Fish calls. Flop 7-5-3 two-tone. I see bet 1/3 pot, and fish jams for 1.5x pot. What should I do, and why? I'm gonna add NY. Let's see what it says. It's gonna tell you to fold, I bet.
No.
It's thinking hard, man. It's cooking. This might break my computer, the level of effort required. Is this RTA? Should I use ChatGPT while I play? Will that give me the edge?
Do you know there was a guy when I was playing 1-3 in Vegas, this old Korean guy, he kept joking that he was going to ask ChatGPT for the answers. So if you would bet on the river, he would just be like, wait a second, ask ChatGPT. But obviously he wasn't doing it. He was pretending he was doing it. That was really funny.
Oh, actually, Johan, I hate to tell you, GPT says it's a call.
What? Okay, wait, I sent you the exact hand, like input the exact hand, and then ask
Okay.
ask what does a recreational player / fish villain has here, and why is it a call?
An autre fish jam. These neuf.
It's in French.
Le Jack call. Le Jack. Dude, this is almost exactly what I input. I just left the cold call out. May what? Sorry, I don't know why it's funny.
But what?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's villains RFI and call pattern scream non-standard wide range. UTG raise is often tens through deuces, ace jack off to ace 10 off, king queen jack suited connectors, random trash, and occasional monsters. When you 3-bet a fish at 1-2, simply don't fold enough preflop so the calling range is bloated with dominated hands. Okay, it's getting shit wrong. Board texture favors your range.
But did you say it's 1-2?
Yep, live 1-2 population massively overbluffs this spot. This is the real key. This is not true either. Fish shove worse here with worse made hands. Random ace S, 7x, 8s to 10s. Draws. Your immediate pot odds make folding terrible. Kings has 80% versus draws, 70% versus over pairs, 60% versus pair and draws, 45% versus 2-pair, and 20% versus set. To fold, you need villain to have sets more than 65 to 70% of the time. They just don't, not even close. Yeah. Buddy. All right, let's put in my hypothetical spot. I open, cut off, small blind flats, and big blind flats.
You know, by the way, when I said it can solve hands, like you could legit ask about like a hand and for it to show you like a not quite a chart, but I think like just a range of hands that also includes like the little signs for like clubs, spades, etc. And like it will almost like a solution kind of tell you like what the whole range can be like. And of course, it can't get it wrong, but I did think it was funny that it could do this.
Yeah. It you know, the reason why it can do this though is because someone has asked this question 170 times. Right? Like this has come up before. So it can kind of recreate it from memory. If you ask it why Beppe is clicking instead of going 2.6x versus Pack, it's not going to know. Even if you give it some clues.
So I put the exact hands, adding that it was in Texas and 1-2, and it says, putting it together, the decision if you think villain is shoving polarized, mostly sets, and a few very strong made hands folds. You do not have the required equity versus a heavy value shove, and 57% is a high bar. If you think villain is the kind of fish who jams large with flush draws, single pair hands, or frequent bluffs, a call becomes reasonable.
That seems like more like a GPT answer to me.
Yeah, but I think it's confused because it's like, especially since they shoved earlier for only 94 preflop, it doesn't understand that that's another player that did that in the hand.
Yeah.
I can't believe that dude that was saying he developed his whole strategy for anti-games with ChatGPT. Hey, respect Ivica is the GOAT.
Nice check raise from Blitzen there. Gets her done.
Did you hear from Mr. Lumberjack earlier?
No, why? What? Oh, the guy in the chat from the other day?
No, MrLumberjack, who's playing right now. He's Station Steve, also another one of his nicknames. And he was on. He came on stream earlier today, and he has a very interesting story. He played in Malta for a bit. He lived in Hawaii, and now he has some farms in Tennessee. So he's just he's farming and playing poker.
That's awesome.
Really sick.
4bet from Munez here. That's a great story. I had the pleasure of chatting with strong PLO, like a very strong PLO player the other day. He was living the dream. Yeah. Nice little low frequency foreski.
Ace 8 suited. Disgusting stuff, if you ask me. Oh, it was Ace 9 suited, sorry.
Yes.
I said disgusting because when I see this, it makes me think maybe I should do it in my games. Except, I probably shouldn't.
Well, you should probably have 4bet bluffs most of the time. You can just tighten your 4bet bluff range if you think their range is tighter than hijack versus cutoff.
Yeah. I think I do have Ace 5 suited, but Ace 9 suited is definitely not in there. I think I would probably... Ace Jack suited I would go, but Ace Queen suited I would pure call. It's probably the way I do it, I think, in those positions.
Yeah.
HDP says, what do you guys think of PLO 5 and PLO 6? See an opportunity in those games. Well, in India, I hear that's the game. Rajat was telling us about it. Although the rake is pretty high. Those games are soft.
What about PLO 26?
One day, man.
Heads up, and you just look at all 26 cards and see if you have quads. Or
that's skill,
quads.
Right?
Yeah.
How about flipping a coin? Who's got the best technique?
It's like my 0.5 ante game, a bit like that. Flip a coin.
Beppe with the 3-bets. It's called by Beluzin. Ace 10-4. I assume this favors the in-position 3-better, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Beppe will be a little bit polar here, so he'll have hands like, well, a lot polar. He should have hands like King 7 offsuit. But it absolutely favors his range. Yeah, I was going to say you could range bet here, but some of these guys will play a polar strategy because their range has a lot of trash.
What's with the overbets?
Overbet is saying Beppe is relatively capped, and so he can leverage top of range. Beppe will very, very rarely have ace 10 plus. And so, if you have a hand like ace queen even, you can overbet easily. Ace jack even. Generally, you'll see that when in position checks back, it's out of position's turn to polarize because in position will seldom or never check back top of range. So often if you have value of various different strengths, you still have to pick a sizing. You pick that sizing based on where the greatest disparity in range advantage is resting. And when in position checks back, you have a monopoly on the top end of range. So you see often large bets saying you have strong hands. You can also bet smaller, but this is just kind of like an idea for why you see the bet that you did.
Yeah. It's interesting, like those are conclusions you've drawn from studying theory, right? And like sometimes it does feel like kind of everybody came to the same conclusion because theory is like more sizings than just like one or two usually. Is that what ends up happening?
Well, often you'll see two sizings in spot where you have a significant advantage in two different parts of your range. For example, Beppe will also potentially check back. I mean, I would play polar there only, but for example, if Pepe checks back a lot of really bad hands to just give up the flop, then there is some sense in playing a block size targeting that trash region that has 15% equity. Because the preflop caller doesn't have hands like King 7 offsuit with 15% equity. He mostly has gutters and better, like pairs. So you could play a block and a large size, but that would be because you have equity advantage in two different components of the range. Conversely, like if you c-bet as the button, a smallish size, and get called, unless the turn changes the board, you often see a very polar bet. And that's because the big blind has a lot of middling strength hands. So it no longer makes sense to put pressure on a middling strength hands with a middling size because they have an abundance of these hands, right? So this is a pattern that you see throughout the game.
So you think these are concepts to understand from pretty early when you play ideally, or it's like kind of reserved for when you're going to play like within a certain limit?
No, I would say that's a fairly universal concept that you should start understanding and thinking about and noticing as soon as possible.
Yeah.
It's not going to just magically give you the key to playing perfectly every spot, but it's a pretty fundamental idea.
What a check by Llama on the river.
Didn't he check call turn?
Yeah, but he still checked river.
Well, yeah. Why would he bet river?
Yeah, because he panics. He's like, oh, he's gonna check back too often. I need to block.
Nah, dude.
Cold-blooded.
It's just a range check.
The double gutter never gets there, doesn't it? Disgusting hand.
Except for when it does.
Yeah.
You know that meme? 99% of the time works 100% of the time, or whatever.
Yeah. I know. Muniz
star. Betting polo on a dry board. It's Muniz star. Bottom of his range is Queen Jack. Some of his trash could be A6. Okay.
Big
I
slick.
don't know why I said A6. I think that's 3-bet pot. It doesn't have a lot of that.
Give him some credit. So your friend plays similar stakes to you, or what does he play that you will go to Florida with?
He plays bigger. So he's going to get every bit of these big games that he can muster. And
Wait, aren't all bigger games privates? You can get in?
yeah, but we know we got some juice, okay?
Oh, snap.
We're hip.
Oh, snap.
Our people will call their people, okay? Yeah.
Do you feel like people that play high stakes, it's harder for them to kind of like have a good relationship with money because of the stakes they play? Maybe your phrasing is poor, but like, do you think it's easy for somebody that plays high stakes to kind of become a little bit disconnected with the true value of money in a way?
Yeah, I also heard Patrick Howard say that he has a pet theory that people who grew up rich are disproportionately represented at these stakes because they grow up with a disrespect for money.
Yeah. Yeah, there has to be something like that for sure. Just like people who are like risk averse are less likely to make the high stakes, perhaps, because they won't be willing to take enough risk that could get them there.
I grew up middle class, and the first time I started playing games of a certain threshold, I couldn't get it out of my head that the amounts of money I was playing for was like beyond. Like before, it was like, oh yeah, like I could see myself making this money, like teaching English, and then I was winning or losing amounts that was beyond that, and my brain had a bit of a fit for a minute.
Yeah. And now it's fine?
Now it's mostly fine.
Mostly.
Mostly fine. You know, the shot takes are Always stressful. It is what it is. Not a great river for TaxHere, looks like. I don't actually. I'm missing the action. Sorry. I have to stop doing this. Tuning in on the river.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back over it, so it's fine. Don't worry, Collie. It's all fine.
Thanks, man.
It's a chill stream. B75 for Kevin. We have a 7 here, maybe a cheeky little 7.
Munez trying to decide if he can raise thin. Is that what's going on? I feel like he would have bluff caught by now.
Yeah. HTP asking at what stakes do Europeans generally feel it's a decent amount of money when they move up? Well, it depends which European, right? Like the cost of living from one European country to another is like, can be totally different. What a fold, by the way. We just had a boat on the other side.
Yeah. This session, I've seen a lot of people under-repping their hands, starting with the pocket threes from Paquet.
Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, what was the flop? It was B70. You went too fast for me.
On the flop, he bet half, 215 to 500,
Okay.
and there was a check raise to 750.
Ah, I see. Okay. Then check, turn?
Yeah. And then river, he bets 75.
Interesting.
Munez might have made a sick fold, right? Considering how long he waited.
Yeah, or he was considering a sick call. With the old King 10 with a diamond or something.
Yeah, it depends, I would say, like, what country exactly HTP. Also, I mean, I wouldn't know. It's not like I've played those stakes myself, but...
What was the question? What stakes do Europeans generally feel it's a decent amount of money when they move up?
It's probably different as well from one person to the next, even if they play like same stakes.
Yeah.
Probably like a mix of like, how did you grow up? What is the average salary where you live? And like, what could have been your career if you weren't playing poker? Like, if you kind of put all those numbers together. I give you a number. Some people like manage that much better than others, though. They won't really see it as money while playing at all.
If you're successful at 1K plus and you don't live in, a top 50 city, top 25 city, I think you're comfortably upper middle class. If you live in Paris or something, I don't know, then...
Yeah, I mean, it depends like where you live, but also like what are your spending habits? Like there's some people that have like way little spending habits compared to other. Kevin is a sicko, man. Almost 5K hands a day. You saw his Instagram post?
No, what's his post?
I'll show you. I don't even want to spoil it. You're going to have to see for yourself the epicness.
May what?
What?
I just like May what? The English French.
Oh. I click the latest post where he has like the sunglasses and then browse through this.
I'm scared. Okay.
I'll try and show it on stream.
So, yeah. What is that thing? It's like a Oh, whatever. Okay, he's by the pool. He's with a bunch of bros.
He's jet setting, dude.
Private jet.
Yeah,
Huh?
the private jet. He's jet setting.
Yeah. Feels good, man.
Yeah, the villa is, I think, in LA.
Nice. Nice.
It looks like an insane suite in Vegas.
Yeah.
That's the life right there, man. Like when you think high stakes, this is what you think of. You know, jet, a villa in LA, a suite in the
I know.
wind. It's so expensive as well, the suites.
You know what's sick is even if I had as much money as Kevin Pack, I still wouldn't take full advantage of it.
I feel like sometimes we say that, but then it's like once you get used of something, it's kind of hard to like move away. Like for me, like I moved to Vienna and then like public transportation is really good. So I always take the train from the airport to home. And then it's like, you know, it's like $5 or like $4. And you have to transfer one time and it's 45 minutes. If you take Uber, it's 30 or $35, but you're in a car and it's like a little bit shorter, maybe like 30 minutes. And I was always like, yeah, I'll never take Uber. And then recently there was a couple times where I was like so tired when I came back. I was like, oh, screw this. I don't want to sit in a train. So I just took the Uber and like then it's like you kind of get used to it. I feel like it's the same with like economy class, you know, like if you start taking the class above also, that's like all you'll ever want to ride basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you flying business to Florida?
No, man. No. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to spend on most luxuries.
So you're gonna play 1025 after flying on a Spirit Airline $50 flight.
That's right.
Checks
and I'm
out.
gonna eat comp chicken nuggets and
Overpriced
like
chicken
that.
nuggets.
Yeah. I mean, can't beat free if you play all day and get some free chicken nuggets. Can you really lose if your chicken nuggets are free?
Yes. The $25 chicken club sandwich.
Llama's gonna bet 800 with Jack 10. No. Rats.
What about the other pot?
What's the action? Single raise pot?
I'm assuming so, considering how small the pot is, yeah.
Yeah, it just looks a little big for a single raise pot.
Maybe there was like a one big blind bet.
Right. Maybe. Okay, massive check raise. Repping kind of like King's... No, like mostly repping King Jack. Oh, Munez.
Wait, how much? Oh, there it was multi-way. Okay.
I see.
Cut off small blind, big blinds. That's why the pot was oddly sized. And he turned everything, bet half, and got check raised.
Huh.
And he clicked with the jig it is.
I don't know if I really like this.
Does he have the jack of diamonds? No, he doesn't. Maybe that's why. He's like afraid of the two flush draws.
Specifically with having two jacks, because you really, really, really block the calling range. I guess there's all the sets from the flop since the out of position player checks range. Maybe it's fine. You know what? It's fine. Because I was going to say I'd prefer something like King Jack, but actually maybe it's getting a bit thin multi-way, facing a polar check raise. And they can have pocket threes and pocket sixes.
Yeah, those are the type of hand where like if you slow play and you lose, it just feels terrible, I found.
Yes. Yes.
It kind of feels like it's funny because like you kind of tunnel on all the bad cards that can come river, but realistically, it's not that many, right? Because like if the king of diamond comes like here, somebody can make a flush, but you got a boat. If the jack of diamond comes, somebody has a flush maybe, but then you got a quads. Like so.
Right, and if you only ever call your draws and weaker value, then they just put tons of pressure on bricks, and you're in pain.
My life is pain.
You don't, yeah, you don't have to really 3-bet very much in position.
All right, let's do one last hand.
Sure. And then we'll let you get some well-deserved sleep.
I'm excited to sleep. That was a long day.
I'll lock in for our last hand here.
All right. Let's go. We need to see at least, I guess, a 3-bet pot or something.
Or a big single raise pot.
Munez, you know what to do.
Pretty tempting.
Don't let him get away with that range C-bet. There you go. That's my boy. No. Nice. See, he played reasonably, not like that guy with the 10s who check jammed.
That's what I meant, though. If it had been that spot and check jam, then you could fold kings. It's a different spot.
Yeah, that's true. I'm too bad. What can I say?
It's okay, man. Look, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I think it was a bad play, but everyone makes bad plays that they regret. It's not.
That's true. I saw you make so many in the mid-stakes championship.
Of course, man. Dude, I'm the king of just random punts.
Ooh, Pepe and be losing. Is this the one? It's on you,
Check raise
Pepe.
flop, right?
I didn't see actually. I assume so.
Check raise flop.
Yeah.
Not 3-bet. Yeah, too small.
Threes. Really? It's gonna be like that, eh?
Yeah, surprising to see the turn barrel with that hand. Play.
Yeah, he did check raise against small bet flop and then continued on turn. He blocks 3-5.
Oh.
Good enough.
Yeah.
How there was the plan river?
Well, I think on this particular board, your hand is 0 equity on river. So we're very close to 0, especially on the king. So yeah, I think you can just bluff this hand the same way you would 7-5 or something if you so desire.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a little surprised to see the turn check raise with this hand, or the turn barrel with this hand.
Is it not like that relevant that you block a straight there? Or just because he's like, somewhat
I think
unlikely?
it's almost irrelevant. If anything, it's much more relevant that you are drawing to a straight yourself, because in this formation, it's very hard for Beppe to interact with the 3. So he does not have 4-3. He does not have Jack-3. How is he gonna, have any relationship to the cards you're holding, right? Whether it's like blockers to bluff catch or actually you blocking the nuts that he can have, neither applies in this situation. The only thing you're blocking is like if you have a diamond, like ace-3 of diamonds or something. which you're also ahead of. So it's like not really a big deal getting called by that, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I think you more focused on just having the equity, like the 5 equity. But yeah.
Peaceful Johnny asks, where is Coley going on his trip? He's going to Gatorland.
Gatorland.
Would you ever do that thing on like the, what is it called? The thing with the fan at the back? Like, you know, that boat?
I know what you mean.
That goes
I
in the
would do that.
swamps. Yeah?
Yeah. I don't really like planning stuff, but I'll, if I'm already there, I'll jump off a cliff or get in a fast boat or something. I don't mind that stuff it's just the planning it.
The jet ski to Aurora. That's where it's at. That's the nuts right there. You'll run into DJ Khaled's out there. I heard he jet skis quite a bit. Your friend plays Hold'em as well, or PLO?
Hold'em.
Okay. I know, you know the UFC fighter Colby Covington. He lives in Florida, and I think he plays PLO, like all sorts of
Oh, does
games.
he?
Yeah. Last time I was in Vegas, he was also there, and he was playing a whole bunch.
UFC fighters got to be among the top fish athlete poker. Like
I think apparently
I'd rather play a UFC athlete than like a basketball player.
I feel like Colby's probably decent. I saw him deep run some tournaments, and he's one of those that knows what he's doing. Well, you want to play the basketball guys, but their game are rigged, right?
That's true.
Working with the mafia.
That shit is so crazy.
Munez. Squeezy.
Squeezing it up. Beppe thinking. In pain with the 8-7 of clubs.
Yeah, kind of a bad flop, I would expect for Beppe, unless he's got a flush draw somehow, but...
Yeah, quite a bad flop. You're going to have a bunch of overrepresented Queen Jack, Jack 10 type stuff, overrepresented in the hearts region, but just a bunch of very, very depressed pocket 7s and 5-4 of diamonds and so on.
Forced to fold.
Forced to fold.
Here we go. Oh my god. Not a good spot for it. Oh my god.
Jacks and
oh my god.
Oh.
So sick.
8.
There's the 7 is enough. Oh, for the second, you mean?
Yeah. you gotta win both.
Oh, this is so dirty.
If you ever don't like a poker player and you win both of those, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Yeah. One of Munez's friend in real life is like, don't worry, you got the EV. He just like punches him in the teeth. It's 10K, my guy. So wait, blind versus blind, and what's the, what do you go all in with there typically? Like the lowest pocket pair?
So that's a really tricky spot. I don't really play a lot of small blind flats, or I don't play them at all. But 8s is kind of like a heads up jam. You would jam a hand like that heads up, and the idea is just that it's a bit of a merge. It gets called by worse, like ace king, ace queen suited, and potentially folds out some better hands like 9s. Yeah, I don't know. It is something I've seen like kind of solvers do, but it's not that important. Most of your jams in this spot are just going to be traps. I guess you'll have some stuff like this, And then you're just gonna sometimes flat like queens or jacks from the small blind so that you can rip over the squeeze.
You know what this reminds me of?
What?
You and Memphis.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Memphis knew his pre-flop, and I didn't.
Do we call it, or do we try to see a real hand with post-flop play?
It's up to you, man. You're the one who's trying to dream of sheep.
Okay, let's wait a bit more. Let's try and see a real hand. It's funny you mentioned sheep, because earlier MrLumberjack, I was asking him, so like, what's happening on the farm? Like, what's so good about it? And he's like, oh yeah, you got the sheep, and like you get like everything out of it, like meat, milk. He's like, yeah, that's the best thing, after poker. When you gonna start your own farm, Coley?
I should. I'm a bit of a city boy, but it's nice to be connected to nature.
Isn't like a border collie like a really good like a shepherding dog?
Yeah, that's what they were made for. They're very smart and very hardworking.
Exactly. There you go. You already set up.
That's why I picked collie.
You already got. You're halfway through the door of the opening your CFP with sheep.
Llama gets the dog shit turn and the dog shit river.
Who's got an ace?
The king's hand.
Are you 3-bet pre or?
I think it's just check raise flop check check check
Okay.
check river.
So nobody has anything. Pepe has like pocket eights.
Yeah. Pepe actually will have a lot of ace high. And Llama. Yeah, Llama's in rough shape. Nice.
Be losing and Pepe. Let's go. 3-bet pot. Deuce. What is this?
Jesus. Rigged. Okay, we're going to see a range bet for 40, I bet. Like 800.
And Biluzin couldn't wait to fold.
Fuck. That doesn't feel good.
In the chat. They didn't shuffle the cards properly this morning. Can I get a wash, please?
Okay, this is it. We're going to see a sick one. Nope.
Dude, that reminds me when I was in Texas, there was a couple people they asked for a wash. And there was this dealer. She was so funny. She wasn't taking anything from anyone. And then this one guy, he went on a rant. He tried to blame her for the runouts. And she looked at him and then I said like, yeah, I'm not the one making her play that garbage. And the guy was like, he was so speechless when the table erupted. It was so badass.
That's insane.
Yeah, he had a terrible hand too. He tried to blame her. He picked the wrong customer.
I bet she could get in a lot of trouble for that. Respect.
I don't think so, because I think like at the lodge to me it felt more like a close operation where they're like pretty tight together.
Yeah.
So I assume it's not like a corporate Las Vegas casinos where you can say nothing,
Right.
And also people are like super nice there. So I think anytime anyone steps out of line, they're like all ready to tell them like, all right, like just relax or whatever. But yeah, that caught me off guard. I'm used to Vegas where like the dealers say absolutely nothing, and she was just like, yeah, I'm not the one making you play that garbage. And the guy had no idea what to say.
Absolutely not be tolerated whatsoever. You would never get away with the kinds of shit people say to dealers in any other business.
Yeah. Well, I get that. That's not necessarily true, right? Anyone that works in retail, they've had to deal with a fair amount of abuse.
They have, but like if you work at the airport or something, there's a big sign that says we're just gonna fucking kick you out if you like threaten us or call us a slur or something. I know Llama's thinking about it here.
What about this one with Munez? Looks like
Can't
a
see.
three bet pot,
yeah.
and he's betting in position.
Okay.
All right, we get a call. Ace on the turn, the action killer, perhaps.
We're gonna see a donk from Munez.
For how much if he does?
Quarter pot, maybe.
That would be 920. Oof. Little more than that. Oh my god. Wait, what?
Okay, I'm behind. So okay, so he's just repping ace x plus. Wow.
Munez came here to play, Coley. He came here to play.
That's a sick hand.
So it's a 3-bet small blind against button. He check calls flop against a small bet, gets the ace turn. I gotta say, Munez has been very impressive. In a lot of these hands, I really like the way he's played, and it's worked out pretty well for him, unless he gets unlucky and shoves with aces against eights.
Yeah. So I guess, at first glance, you would much rather take a hand like 6-5, 10-9, Jack-10 clubs and bluff those. However, Munez is going to not have very many hands like that check call flop. And then in terms of your turn donk, you could go smaller if you rep slow plays that were reduced in equity on the ace. For example, kings. Or if you bet this size, you could just bet any ace.
When you do this, do you want to block the draws? Because here he blocks 2 draws, right? He blocks the flush draw with the 6 of clubs, and he blocks like 5-6 suited.
I think if I had to guess, the plan with a hand like this is to check evaluate on some rivers, getting value from weaker draws, and probably preferring mostly to jam river with some kind of air. And then when you get a river like this one, just to rip your hand. Now 10-9 has improved, 6-5 has improved. Like you block clubs, like you. Not that it's very relevant, but you just like a hand like this makes a lot more sense in the jam line. So I think that's kind of the vibe. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about this turning this pair into a bluff here. Definitely tough to find.
On river, he was gonna ship, right?
Yeah, I think on this river he would ship, but I don't know what he's doing on like the deuce of hearts.
He's shipping.
You think he's just shipping?
Maybe, yeah.
Because on the deuce of hearts, you have like 6-5, you have 10-9, you have Jack-10, like potentially. But you may not have a lot of them because maybe those hands very seldom ever check call flop.
If he had some sort of like, let's say like 8-9, he would have bet the flop, like any sort of pair somewhere in there, right? Like if he had the.
No, 8-9 would be a very natural. I mean, if you're playing checks on this flop, then 9-8 is a very, very natural check, right?
Okay.
I mean, you could bet, but the hand will almost always be worth only 2 streets of value, and you can check to strengthen your range and bluff catch a little bit instead. So yeah, I'm just curious just to kind of look at this. Yeah, so 20% is, well, 20 larger is okay as well. Wow, okay, so this turn is just a fucking range bet from Munez. I knew you could play some donks, but I didn't know you would just donk your entire range. There's 6% check on this turn.
So like, what do the sizings look like in theory?
You can go, well, I just have a sim up where 20 and 50 are both being used a lot.
Yeah.
I guess he went larger, but I don't think it matters.
He went like 3/4, I think. Let me see.
Right. So this is what I got wrong about this hand that Munez got right, and this is why we pay him the big bucks. I was thinking to myself, you have a lot of better candidates potentially. Why this one? The answer is because you pick all of them. You just bet all of them. I think that's what he caught, and I missed.
And Peaceful Johnny asks, can Lama fold a hand like 10s on the turn?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess like with the ace, it's not like you can backdoor straight, right? It's like totally different if you had like, let's say like a nines and maybe like a six or something came.
Yeah, you can fold any hand here that is 2 outs, basically. A hand like 7-6 has 5 outs against an ace, so you can't really fold a hand like that. But nines, tens, even jacks, these hands are all very similar, especially like jacks with a spade and a diamond or something, or tens with a spade and a diamond. Because those would unblock potential floats like king 10 of spades, and then also ace 10 suited is like they have to have ace 10 off. Anyway, not that important.
Yeah, nice hands.
Yeah, nice hand by
Gangster.
That was cool. I learned something.
Yeah. Let's see what happens here. Munez thinking of calling. It's not the show table, not like this. Rest in peppers. All right. Well, actually, there was a hand just before. Just want to check quick what happens. Oh, we didn't get a showdown. Only saw one of the players' hand. Okay. Yeah, no, thank you for being on.
My pleasure, man.
And have a good trip. And I guess like we won't see you anymore, right? You don't have like a laptop or something that you want to join from Florida in the middle of the swamps.
Have a laptop.
Oh, you do?
I mean, yeah. I'll hit you up if I've got some downtime.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for being on. If you wanna advertise anything, your coaching, your YouTube, your social media, your OnlyFans, go right ahead, brother.
A foot fetish page. It's called Collie Feet. Hashtag May what? No, but yeah, you can check out my YouTube channel. It's Collie Poker. And if you want to hit me up for coaching, just add Collie Poker on Discord. And I actually, hopping on this channel, someone did some mindset coaching with me recently that I think they enjoyed. They booked a second session. So if you're interested in that, I offer that as well. And, that's it.
Thank you, boss. Have a good trip. My pleasure. And talk to you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
For now.
All right. That's it, guys. Thanks to Collie for joining us. Collie Feet, what a guy. Yeah, some good breakdowns. Gonna get some rest, and then tomorrow looking to come back sometime around like noon or afternoon-ish. I don't have a guest yet, but I've been talking to some potential ones, so we'll see. I can check, I guess, real quick. Tell you guys who I have scheduled. Right, I'm talking to so many people. It's actually crazy. I messaged like everybody that was recommended. Felix, Never, I've messaged. I'm talking to Goffey a little bit. I messaged Jared Alderman. I still need to get back to him actually right after this. Gary Chappell. Also, actually, that might happen tomorrow maybe as well. Right now, scheduled. I think it's only exploitable on Monday. But yeah, like I said, I've been talking to a lot of people. So we'll see. We'll see who comes on. And yeah, you guys, best bet. I will be trying to get as many of those guests as possible on. So thank you so much for tuning in. Big shout out to Poker Strategy and Coin Poker. Make sure to give them a follow. Much love, everyone. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.